time, 11:30. I had a little late start coming out of Mercado, but because 3/4 of the people in Naples are gone, I was able to make it here on time. Is there anybody here new for the first time?
Yeah, I know, so.
Okay, good. Well, we can go right into the meeting. And this is going to be open to Q&A. But I am going to go over as many of these tricks and tips that I can. I posted the article. Did everybody see the article on the post? Okay, because that'll be the notes from today's meeting. So, the first thing that, and these, a lot of these tricks and tips we've gone over before, so, but I will go over some of them in more detail. So, first of all, I should have my pointer handy here. So you can see where I'm going with this. First of all, I'm going to go to the settings area right here. This is George's computer. I don't know why that stuff's showing.
You touch the trackpad and move it. Trackpad.
Oh, okay. Good. All right. So we're going to go to the settings area, and the first one talks about. So the title of it was making iOS 7 look nicer. With making the type larger, making it bold. So you go to do that, you go to settings right here, and then we're going to go to this general area right here, and then to this accessibility area right here. So, the larger type I have on, and you can turn it off, or you can when it's on, you can, if I turn it off, it'll just default, but if I turn it on, you can adjust its size. You see the size of the type? So, that's how that works. Any questions on that? It doesn't apply to everything that's brought up on the iPad. It depends on if the app is wired into iOS to pick up this feature. Okay?
What do you normally do?
About right there. I think you usually have yours about right there.
Mitch,
Yes.
Marilyn here. If you have it real big, it really works, except on some things, the type will over, one line will go over another line.
Yeah.
On certain things, yeah.
And it is a really good feature because I have clients that, they literally cannot see.
It works well in the contacts for finding the name. Once you find the name, then it does not work with the phone number and all that, but it works good for finding the name.
Does it work in Safari?
I don't think so.
I'm going to find out real quick. So I've got it set up pretty big.
I think the pinch might work in Safari. I
And
don't know.
it's not working at the top. Let me just see. 37, this is the article that we're actually reviewing. So it's really not working here. You'd have to use it.
Yeah, you can use the pinch.
Yeah, okay. So it doesn't work in everything. Let's go back into there. The other thing they talk about is their second tip, which is just a cosmetic thing, is back out here in general
do?
Well, what it does is it puts that one there. Puts the mark right there. See those marks, those like ones? So it's just, if I turn it off, notice that they disappear. It's simply a cosmetic thing. It's sort of a silly thing. But I have it on. Everybody see that? As far as I've been able to determine, it's strictly cosmetic.
Is it just here or is it affecting programming?
It affects everywhere that you see that. So if we go to sounds, notice that the little thing is there.
Oh.
Okay. So if we go back to general and accessibility, and I turn that off, now I go to sounds, it's off. So everywhere that you'd have a switch on, it would show. So I have it on.
May I ask a question?
Yes, absolutely.
I'm Eckhart.
Eckert.
Recently I discovered something strange. I am writing emails from my iPhone or my iPad, sometimes in a different language, in the German language, for example.
Yes.
And the recipients have complained that when I send emails from an iDevice, the umlauts, they don't get the way I type them, not the way I select them, but they get something strange. So they know what I mean, but it is not what I'm sending. And when I send the same message from my iMac, it arrives perfectly. But on my iMac, I have a choice of fonts. And I think with the iDevices, you don't have any choice of fonts if you send out a regular email. So in order to avoid all of that, I now go to this complex way of writing an email and create a PDF file, and then send that PDF file by email from my iDevice. And then it arrives the way I've set it up. But I just wanted to know whether you've any heard of that experience and any recommendation what I should be doing differently maybe.
The only thing, I don't have direct experience with that other than to joke around with some people. And I had a friend who went to France, and they were posting things on Facebooks, and I went to Google Translate and did this long thing and hit English to French, and I copied it and I pasted it on Facebook and sent it to them, and of course they couldn't even read it. And we did that to another gentleman a year or two ago, and he texted back. He said, "I didn't know that you could you were so fluent in French." But I don't know how that. I would assume you'd run into the same problem if you did the Google Translate app, which is a free app.
Yeah.
Download, and I just literally dictate with the Siri. But if you typed it in there and then translated it to Germany and then copied and pasted it in your email, I don't know if that would correct it, but it's another thing to try. Yes.
Hi, Connie Pettit. So my daughter and I only speak and write to each other in Spanish, because that's her first language. But so what I changed in general, where it says international, is the language, and I add Spanish, because I used to do the same thing you had.
No, I do use the keyboard of the respective language. So I
So
select.
you have gone to general and picked that?
Yes, sure. I use that and they have the umlaut, so I don't even have to pull it down with my finger. You know, you can push on the letter A, for
Yes.
example, and then push it down. If you use the German keyboard, you have all these letters available. So my email, the outgoing email looks perfect, but the recipients don't get gibberish. They don't get what I'm sending.
Well, the only thing I would suggest is, and I don't know if it'll correct it, but you might try the copy and paste from Google Translate.
Yeah.
Next one had to do with maps. And what they were saying in maps is that when you, their big clue had to do with this thing in maps that I usually use on maps on my iPhone for turn-by-turn directions. And it works pretty good. But they're saying, oh, hey, there's a great idea that if you want to walk, all you do is you hit the man instead of the car, and it gives you walking instructions. So you would just go there, and instead of giving you a turn-by-turn automobile instructions, it would give you walking instructions. And there's also a transit one that they're starting to use. Yes,
I was having a cup of coffee in Dunkin' Donuts yesterday.
yes.
I got out my computer, turned it on, and it says, you can drive home in 5 minutes from here.
Yeah, well, that's because they're spying on you. That's a good point. I'll see if I can remember how to get to that.
I didn't ask for it.
Yeah, I know, but they turn it on for you. They're real nice about turning on spy stuff.
When you get your.
When you go to this privacy area, and you go to location services, and you go all the way down to the bottom, and you go to this system services, and you go down to, where was it?
How'd you get to where you were?
Just a second.
Privacy location service.
Privacy, I think it's location services. Location services,
System services?
I thought it was here, but I don't see it. Well, they just turned it off the other day. System services. Oh, I think it's on your, I think it's only on the, it might only go on.
Bruce, were you on your phone or your iPad?
She was on her phone. Let me just look on the phone real quick. I'll do that. Location services. System services. Yeah, if you go on the phone, there's one more item right below this Wi-Fi network, and it says frequent locations. So go to this on your iPhone, go to, I'll start from the beginning. You go to privacy. Right here, and then go to location services on your phone, and then you scroll all the way down. Incidentally, you should review these periodically and see if you really want some of these on, because they do eat your battery up. And you go down to this bottom one, System Services, and right underneath that Wi-Fi network, they'll be on your phone, frequent locations. If you have that on, it'll start tracking you, and it'll track everywhere you've been. And one of the things it'll tell you is that, oh, if you leave right now and want to go home, because it knows sort of where your home is, it'll take 10 minutes. Or if you frequently, like in the morning, if you frequently go to a Starbucks, and it's the same with Starbucks, it'll say, you know, it's going to take you 15 minutes to get to Starbucks from where you are right now.
What is it that's going to tell you that? Google Maps? Just the phone that comes
The
up?
phone, and they're actually tracing you. They're tracing every movement you make. And so it eats up a little bit of your battery. It was one of the things that I read in a battery article on saving battery life and also on privacy. So if you turn that off, mine doesn't tell me that I'm 5 minutes away from home when I'm at Dunkin' Donuts. Does everybody see that on their phone that has a phone? So that's sort of a secret thing.
Turn on frequent location.
Yes, you can just turn it on.
I can't find it.
What phone do you have? A new one, okay. So again, go to this area in settings, go to privacy, you got him there? Privacy,
Location.
location services, and then all the way down at the bottom. No, it's below there, system services. Yeah, and you turn that off if you don't want it to trace you. You just touch it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Why do you need these on?
You don't need it on.
Anyhow.
It's a thing they put in there so that you can conveniently look and it'll tell you, oh, you know, you're half an hour from home. If they know, if you know, if the phone knows you're a half hour from home, so does Apple and so does whoever else is looking at Apple stuff.
Well, I see, for example, in mine, Siri is on. Do I need that on?
Well, Siri usually I have on because, I mean, I want to be able to, I use Siri. If you don't use Siri, turn it off. So let's go through, I'll go through a few of these. Go back to location services. So, I don't know why 1Password really needs to know my location. Can you think of a good reason? So I'm going to turn that one off. Everybody see that? Here, that turns it on, right there. Because a lot of these apps, when you install them, it pops up and it says, 1Password wants to know your location. Is that okay? And you just say, yeah. That's what I do. I mean, most of the time I don't even think about it because I want to get going. And then you go to this page and you find out, gee whiz, I got all this stuff on there, I need it. Now, the App Store, yeah, I want them to sort of know where I'm at. I don't mind that. App Advice, no. Apple Stores, yeah, I want that because if I'm in Chicago, they know where I'm at, and when I hit the stores, it'll show me where the Apple Store is in Chicago, closest to me.
Why doesn't 1Password show up online? I have it.
I don't know. It could be something that I did in 1Password that made it show up. That's interesting. I wonder if it shows up in my one here. I assume it does. No, it doesn't show up on my phone. So it must be something that I've turned on the app on this particular device. But like I say, you can go down here periodically. Do you want the calendar to know where you're at? Yeah, sometimes that's useful. Camera, yeah, because I want the geotag stuff when I take pictures. Craigslist, yeah, because if I'm searching on Craigslist, I want to be searching in the area I'm in. Dictionary, no. Dropbox, I've got a yes. Edmunds, no. Now, some of these, like Edmunds, if you're searching for a car, you might want to turn it on. But if you're on Edmunds and you're searching for something, it'll pop up and it'll say Edmunds needs to know your location, and it'll turn it on. I don't like Facebooks to know where I'm at. Fandango, yeah, I want them to know where I'm at because when I go to the app, if they don't know where I'm at, then they don't know what movie locations to look for. So some of these just make sense when you go down and look at them. Find My Friend, you want that one on. So you just have to make some decisions here, but you'll see I have several of them turned off. Any questions on that? Yes, Don?
A comment on the photo, the geotags.
Yes.
You have that on and you're posting a picture on Facebook or something like that.
Yes.
And people can see where it is you work. Even if it's an indoor photo, instead of you standing in front of the Eiffel Tower or whatever, well, it doesn't matter, but even an indoor photo, it's got a geotag on it, so if you send one, I'm gonna know that you're in Colorado or something, because it has the date and the location.
Yes, that's right.
Can they find exactly where that photo was taken?
If the geotag information is there on the photo, yes. But like a lot of the photos, okay, so that's a good point. Yeah, if you're posting a photo that you just took today and you're in New York City, they're gonna know you're in New York City. If you post it on a public site and you've got that service turned on.
They're not gonna know where you are
But the-
specifically.
Oh, yeah.
No, or a lot of-
Geotag's pretty, more active than just what city you're in.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's very accurate.
So they can find-
It'll show you're at 42nd Street, 3rd Avenue,
Okay.
okay?
Yeah, it's GPS.
Now, but I have to say that a lot of times when I'm posting a photo, it'll be an older photo. Sometimes, and I don't post a lot of photos on those sites anyhow anymore. That's a good point, Don. Okay, so let's go on down the list. Let's see what are the ones here we want to cover. The Find My Friend application, you can turn on some options there that I don't use that will let you know when your friend is arriving or leaving a particular location. Does anybody here use Find My Friend?
Where is that?
Okay. Find My Friend is right here. It's actually an icon, it comes with the phone. I don't know if you have to download it, or does it come automatically?
No, we download.
Yes.
Yeah, you download it. Okay, it's a free download from Apple. Find My Friend, and then, if your friend agrees to allow you to use that, then you can see where they're at any time. I don't use it, but a lot of people will use it like if they're going, let's say that you're going to Disney World and you're going with a group, and you can, and 3 people in the group have iPhones. You can say, hey, let's turn on Find My Friend, and just give me permission for today to be able to find you. And that way you can just literally pull out your phone, hit Find My Friend, and it'll show where they're at in the park. So that's one of the uses for it.
Yeah.
Or if you're in New York City, and you're there with some friends, you can say, hey, let's turn this feature on for the time that we're here, so that if we get lost or whatever, I mean, it's an easy way to find somebody, but actually if they have their phone and their phone's turned on, you can always call them. Yes?
Will that work at Costco and Kmart too? Find my wife?
Find my wife.
Yes,
No,
it's called Find My Friend, but yes, it will work.
That wasn't a serious question, but Mike McGuire, by the way. My question really is, do you know how accurate this is within, have you ever seen anything about with using cellular? Would it be accurate within 20 feet, 20 yards, 100 feet?
I haven't seen that. I know I've had some pop-ups say that it's more accurate when you're on Wi-Fi. Yes,
Yeah.
Carl.
I lost my phone, and I lost it by Wendy's on 41, and I used my iPad to find it, and it showed it was at Wendy's, but it was actually a couple doors down. Some kids had picked it up and taken it a couple doors down, but it showed it at Wendy's, so it's, at least 300 feet, 200 or 300 feet is.
Well, that actually happened to me. And I assume that Find My iDevice or Find My Computer works similar to Find My Friend. A couple years ago, I left my phone in Publix, and I didn't run it for an hour or two, and then all of a sudden, it wasn't in the normal places in the house I thought it should be. So I did the Find My Phone, and sure enough, it was up at Publix, and I called them immediately, and they said, yes, somebody brought it to us, and we have it behind the counter, please bring some identification to pick it up. Which I got lucky. Now, if you go under, so let's go to Find My Phone. Okay. Now, I've got a couple devices here, my devices, okay? I've got a lot of devices.
Did you say vices or
Devices. Yeah. Okay, so this is an iMac in Florida, and it's right here. Here's a picture of an iMac, and that's at my home. This is my MacBook Air, my iPhone 5S, and my iPad, which I'm using right now, and all three of these are with me. You'll see that there's overlapping circles right here at the library. And then the rest of these, this is my wife's. This is a MacBook Air I have at home, but it's not on. So if it's not on, it won't find it. My wife's it will not find. It shows it there, but I have to type in her iCloud information to find it, because we have different iCloud accounts.
And you also need her password too.
I have.
Where did you find that?
Huh?
Is that on a newer iPad? What about the older iPad?
How old is your iPad?
iPad 2?
Yeah, it works. I got it.
Yeah, it works.
Where did you find it?
It's an app, Find My, is that a downloadable one as well, or does that come with it?
Find My Phone. Download.
Find My Phone comes with it.
With the phone. It doesn't come with the
Can't
item.
find it.
Well, did you do a search for it? Can I do a search? Here, go like this. Let me get out of here. Get out to a page like this, go like this, and do find.
Type, yeah.
Okay, and then it's right there, and it'll say it's not in the folder, and you just type on, touch on it, and it'll come up. Did that help you? All of a sudden, it's not finding my devices. Why is that? Maybe it's working.
Here they are.
Yeah, there they are.
It says it's Find My iPhone on the Astro iTunes.
Now, also, while we're on here, I'll show you a couple other things. So, if I lost my iMac, which is pretty hard to do unless somebody steals it, but if I lost it, I tap on it right here, and I can have it play a sound on the device. I can lock the device, I can erase the device, and, this might give me driving instructions on how to get the device.
So that's a setting on your iMac, right?
Oh, it's loading right now. It's not
But
a,
mine's not showing, my computers are not showing on here.
well, it's because you haven't set up Find My Device. You have to set it up on the computer. And I'd set it up. If somebody steals the device and flips it on, you'll know where it's at unless they've erased the whole thing. I can't remember how to set it up, turn it on. It's very easy to do it. It's in Preferences.
Okay.
And if you have trouble with it, just Google turning on Find My iMac.
So my wife's iPhone has the same, we share the same Apple ID.
Yes, and
I
iCloud,
can trace her wherever she goes.
as long as she agrees, or you grab her phone and you say, yep, I agree, and she doesn't even know. She agreed.
And she can track you.
And she can track you, yes.
So if I'm over at the Hyatt with some checks, you know.
She can find it. Just don't take your phone with you. Leave your phone, just go out to the library desk and say, hey, could you hold on to my phone for an hour or two? That's not even funny. All right.
If
Well, you've done all that, so.
Mitch,
Yes.
if you lock your device or your computer
Yes,
remotely,
yes.
how do you unlock it?
I'm not sure on the computer. I know on your phone, you just put in your password. I think on your computer, you would just have to put in your password if you lock it. I know I've locked my iPhone before, and it just asks for my password. Okay. Okay. There's some things in here I'm not going to do on Siri. Ask Siri to notify you about you can ask Siri to notify you about your friend's location if you have Find My Friend turned on. You can just, hey, where is my wife? And it'll tell you. She's at the Hyatt.
Will they tell me who she's with?
No. Okay.
She's with Mitch.
No.
Yeah, I agree with both.
Geofencing and reminders. You can, not only can you set geofencing on people, but you can set geofencing on a location. So, we can look at that in reminders. I never use this particular feature, but if you go into reminders, and let's just go into this one. Let's go to edit. This one. No, it's not liking that. Information. Remind me on, turn that off. Remind me at, and then go location. Now, this is one of these pop-ups. Reminders would like to know your current location. So I got this feature turned off in that privacy area. So this would be a case where an app's come up and say, hey, you got this turned off, turn it on. So I'll turn it on, allow, okay. And now, it'll say, remind me of my current location, remind me when I get home, remind me when I'm at the Utah home, or remind me of a work destination. But if I go current home, then see this circle? Or current location. You can make that circle bigger, and that's what they're talking about in terms of setting a geofence around an area. So it's like, you know, when I would get, screwed up. So, hit on the eye. Everybody see that? Let me go back to it again. You hit on edit, if you have one of these lists set up, and you hit on, oops, not edit. You touch the item, which is the NMUGs, which I have a repeat on. It reminds me of this meeting every week at 11:30, about a half an hour before the meeting, get a message. But if I hit here, and I want to remind me at a location, then I can let me see, remind me on, remind me at location, and it it gives me some locations here. I can add to the list right here. Okay? But if I go, remind me at home. Okay, so now it's showing me my home, and it shows a couple different options. When I leave home or when I arrive. So some of the uses for this that I've read about, I don't really use, but you know, you could have a shopping list that you've been making during the week or making during the day, and you could just say, hey, remind me of this when I leave my house. So that's how you would do this. I don't use any of the geofencing at all. Does anybody here use it at all?
Not since I heard that it uses your battery.
Yeah, it does use your battery. Because I had to turn that on, and it's always looking about, well, where's he at? Where is he at now? Where's he at now? So, okay, so before I forget it, so I want to change this back to, get out of this, and I want to go back to remind me on and repeat every week. Okay. So now I'm done. Okay, so let's look at this one. Well, weekly. Okay. Gotta get this set up right or I'll miss the meetings. Okay, today. 11. 30. Okay, good, I'll play with this later.
So this is totally separate from the calendar.
Yes, this is the reminders. Now, let me show you something that's, I find pretty handy. So I want to get out of here, and I'll go again to this. This is where I'm at, this reminders area. There's a 2 here indicating that there's 2 things that need attention. One of them is this meeting today that it looks like I missed because I didn't check it off. This other one is Alexis meeting, which I have today, and I put the wrong time in. I actually have to go there this afternoon. But that's why the number appeared. But here's what I want to show you. I made some other things. One of them is Costco, because I'm a big Costco fan. So I'll go to my Costco list, and you'll notice that there's nothing on my Costco list. Okay? But this is a neat little trick. Right down here at the bottom, it says show completed items. Now, I'm a creature of habit. There's about 15 or 20 things that I normally buy at Costco. And once you get them all in there, this is real easy to do. So on Saturday, when I'm thinking about going to Costco, I go to my completed list. And I said, yeah, I need to get some avocados, I need water, paper towels. Yeah, I want one of those roasted chickens. I need some Parmesan cheese. And I need, I want to get some fruit if they have fruit. And, oh yeah, I need shaving cream. Okay. Now I go, hide completed. Now I've got a fresh list. This is my list of what I'm doing at Costco. So now I go to Costco, and about halfway through the store, because I hate to say it, but I'm getting a little older, I think, geez, did I get everything I needed to get? I pull out my iPhone, and my iPhone will have the same list. These things are go in the cloud. Sync in the cloud, and I'll say, yep, got the paper towels, got the chicken, got the water, got the fruit, got the shaving cream.
So it didn't automatically track it as soon as you put it in the cart?
No. No. My wife does that. But no. And, oh, I forgot the Parmesan cheese. I better go back. Now, I'm done. Or maybe they didn't have the fruit, but I hit done because I'm leaving Costco and I checked for the fruit. They didn't have the fruit I wanted, so I just checked it off my list. Okay, now I go to, again, I'm done. So if I go to completed list, here's all my items. If you need to add a new item, right down here, you just go right here and just start typing a new item.
See, my cart rolls to the right aisle and everything.
I find this to be very, very handy, particularly I use it for Costco. I started to do a shopping list for grocery store items, so I've got a few things here that we, buy, like when we're at Publix or something. My wife will call me, or I'll be leaving the house, and she'll say, if you're going to Publix, we need some lettuce, and we need some bananas, and we need some salads. So I just go here and and I've got my list. Any questions on that?
It doesn't alphabetize.
No, it doesn't, but, I'm glad you mentioned that. If you hit edit over here, and you want to advertise it, I thought you could advertise it, but you can't. Oh, wait a minute, it's edit.
She wants to buy aisles.
No,
I'd rather arrange it by aisle.
Right.
yeah,
Can you rearrange the order?
no, you can't. I thought you could, but you can't. Let me check, let me just put them on the other list, maybe you can.
The reason I had to change wires because one of them didn't put it by aisle.
So here, if I hit, yes. Okay, so you could do it here. If I go to the shopping list, and I start clicking these items and to put them on my list, okay? And I go now to hide the items, okay? So now I've got my grocery list, and I just say I want to put them in alphabetic order. Now I can do it, and you do it with these little things over here.
You have to manually.
But you have to manually do it, yeah. Okay, I'll put the bananas up there. Okay, I'll pull the carrots up here.
You can't tell Sarah to do that.
I pull this Capri Sun up here. Okay, so you can do it there. Now, interesting thing is, when I'm done with all these items, let's see where it puts them on the list. Show completed. No, it's just gonna put them in there wherever they were. And it won't allow you on the completed list to sort them. So the answer is, yeah, you can do it, but why bother? Yes.
And like, I don't find the list on my phone. Do I go into settings and then,
Reminders. It's reminders.
but I don't find that on my,
Okay, let me show you what it looks like. You can't delete it. It comes, I believe, with the phone. It looks just like this.
Yeah.
You find it?
I found it.
no, I just went through.
Okay, then we'll do this, do a search for it.
Here.
You find it?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Okay.
Any more questions on reminders?
Very good.
Okay.
It won't
Well-
track your location unless you turn your computer on.
It won't track your location unless you turn on that privacy thing that I told you about.
I thought you had to turn the computer on.
You mean
If
find
don't
my
track
phone?
your computer,
You mean
it has to do-
find your computer?
No. How does it know that I go to Dunkin' Donuts?
That was,
I turn it on when I'm there.
okay, that was in the privacy settings.
Oh, okay.
And, again, you go to settings, and you go to this, privacy area on your phone, go to location services at the top,
Okay.
okay? Go all, and see, remember it asked me to turn on reminders, Don? And you said to read up your battery? Yeah, so that, I'm gonna turn it back off, because I don't use that geotagging. But you go all the way down to the bottom, and on your phone, underneath System Preferences, it has, what did I say it has? Is anybody there?
Fine, but
Huh?
I forget.
Okay. It has, it has System Preferences. You go there, and under Wi-Fi, underneath the Wi-Fi area, it has Frequent Locations on your phone. You turn that off if you don't want it to know that you're 5 minutes from home when you're at Dunkin' Donuts, or you don't want it to trace you around town. It doesn't have anything to do with Find My Phone. It's actually geotagging where you're at for other reasons. Okay? Okay.
But even if you had all those turned off, the Find Your Phone thing is always on by default on Apple.
It's on by default unless, Find My Phone is right here. If you turn off location services, then it's not on. Okay, so location services has to be on for Find My Phone to be on. And Find My Phone is on. Okay?
Thank you.
The next hint in this article is hints on photography things, which I'm not going to go over because it's all on the phone, and I've got the iPad hooked up right now. But it tells you how to do burst mode, tells you how to do, you can do slow motion movies, you can do HDR items. It's pretty self-explanatory if you play with it for a while. Oh, the article I posted on our website, it's called,
You posted it on the email.
I posted it on the email announcing the meeting, and it's called,
Jerry posted it on, he wants,
I posted it already
no, on the website.
on the website. It's called 33 Great Tips and Tricks for iOS 7. It looks like this. If you Google that item, it'll also pull up that article. 33 Great Tips and Tricks for iPad 7, or iOS 7.
Do you have a hand in the audience?
What's that? Yes.
Mitch, this is Bill. When using Safari and going online to certain sites, and I have a repeated problem in a medical site, if I want to look something up, it will take me to a page that I cannot get out of. And I want to go back to the original, the Safari page. But there's nothing there. There's no little blue arrows, that go back. Is there any trick to?
Is this on the iPad?
Yes.
Go to the tabs.
The tabs. Go to the tabs. You have tabs turned on. Is tabs on by default now?
I don't know, mine are on.
Mine are on, but let's go to Safari ones. So,
With tabs up on top, you mean?
right here. So here's that article that we're sort of going over. But if I want to go to, let's see, if I want to go to, here was the site I was looking at.
So can you turn tabs on and off?
I think it's on, but let me just look in Safari settings and see. So if we go to settings and we go down to Safari, see it there?
Yeah.
Okay. I think it's,
tabs in background? Would that be it?
yes, open tabs. lights in the background. That might be it.
Okay.
While you're talking about tabs, is there a way to delete them and add new ones?
Yes.
How do you do that?
Okay, so let me go into here again. So let's just say I wanted to delete this one, okay? First of all, I've got a lot more open, and the reason I know I've got more open is these three dots over here. That indicates, I believe, yeah, I've got a couple of other ones open. Okay? So if I want to go to this one, I just hit on it and it'll bring it up. And I'll put another one down here. Oh, it keeps it down there, but it's up front right now. So let's say I want to delete this one. I mean, you can have open like 20. I think Jeff said there was no limit, but there is, or I said there was no limit. That's what I read, was there's no limit, but I know on the phone, there's a limit of 20. Because I kept on opening them until it wouldn't allow me to open anymore. So, to close a tab, you see this little X right here? You just touch on that, it closes it. So, if I'm on this one, and I want to close, whoops, Don?
I just did it.
We're back. Okay. I want to close this one, I just hit that little X, and I'll close it. Okay?
Okay, now what about ones above that? What are those?
Oh, those are your favorites.
How do you add and subtract?
Okay, so to add and subtract from favorites,
Do you have any preferences?
you go here, to your bookmarks. Well, no, you would go here, and you would go to bookmarks. And if I wanted to add this to my favorites, I would, this is the site. If I want to change the name of the site to just South Dakota Wheaton's. And then the location happens to be favorites, but you can change the location. I can change the location. It's favorites means it's going to be on that favorite bar. Okay? But if I just wanted in my regular bookmarks, or I could go here to bookmarks. And it'll just be an item listed in my bookmarks. Or if I wanted to go to, if I wanted to go to, I want to put it in with alligators, because alligators like dogs. Then it would be under that particular file.
And how do you delete them then if you don't want them?
Go into the bookmarks on the right,
Yeah, you go into the bookmarks on the right,
hit edit.
and you hit, edit, and then you start deleting.
You can delete or you can rearrange.
Yeah. But we're not in, let's just see. How do we get to our favorites file? Is it listed here in order?
It's listed according to the way you have it on the, from the left to the right.
I would think favorites would be showing up.
Or is that?
No, it's not.
I think it's called favorites, bookmarks is called favorites in iOS 7.
Okay, on mine, if I go to bookmarks, then the first thing that shows up is favorites at the right top.
Okay. Then you're good. You're good to go.
Maybe it's alphabetical, I don't know.
But yeah, that's where you would delete them. And I've got a lot of them in there, so again, the three dots tell me that I have more in that bar.
Okay.
So if I hit those three dots, it'll show that I have more.
Mitch, I'm just, how do you get multiple tabs other than pushing on the plus button up there? Is there a way for tabs to?
You hit the plus. No, that's the only way, hit the plus. Unless you have it, unless the site opens up a new tab, which a lot of them do, when you hit on something in the site.
Okay.
So,
Can you close them all at once?
no. Yeah. And it works a little differently on the phone. Okay. Any more questions about this?
I have a question about Dropbox, you want to talk about?
Yeah, my favorite topic. It's not on one of the 31 tips, 33 tips, but let me help you.
Oh, yeah, I got my iPad synced on one password with Dropbox.
Yes.
But I can't get my iPhone to sync, and they have the same files. I look at Dropbox, same files, but I hit sync and nothing happens. Any idea?
Well, do you have it selected to sync on Dropbox on your phone?
Yeah.
Because there's a couple choices. There's the choice of Dropbox, and then there's the choice of the iCloud.
Yeah, I have it on.
That's what I thought.
And it has to be on Wi-Fi.
Well, I'm on Wi-Fi here. And I hit sync with Dropbox, and then it's got my name. And, well, it doesn't actually say syncing. It just says stop using account. But I don't know what that. Maybe I should talk to you afterwards.
Yeah, that'd be fine. Yes?
Phil Jones, back to the top, how do you write in English and send somebody translation in Spanish?
Okay. There is an app. It's called Translate. And I have it in the reference file. You see how I did that? Let's start over on that. I think everybody knows how to do this, but if you go anywhere, like in the middle of the screen, and just swipe your finger down. So I'll go like from here and swipe down. The search bar will come up. And I start typing in Translate. And Translate's right here, and it says it's in my reference folder. Okay? But I just hit on it, and Translate comes up. Okay? And this is the one that I was writing. It actually has the one I did from English to French. So this is what I wrote and then translated into.
You have to download this app?
Yes, it's a free Google app, Translate. It's called, is that what it was called? It's called, yeah, Translate. And that's what it looks like right there.
Okay.
Okay? It's a free Google app. It works very well. And when you get into it, so if I'm into it right here, I'm going from English to French. If I want to go to Chinese, there you go. And then when you go here, you would just say, I like to use Siri a lot, so I would hit Siri. Hello, how are you today? Question mark. Okay, and then I think you hit this little thing right here. Now,
Don't you go?
oh yeah, go. There you go.
Oh, got that.
Do you know if that's right?
No, but my wife speaks some kind of language like that. She would know. Yes.
My wife teaches Spanish, and she says the translation is not grammatically correct, but you can understand it.
It's always fun to go from English to something and then go from that language back to English. It's like
Simply to make it work.
talking, passing
Completely different.
stories through the years.
Yes,
Medini. Lately, I've been reading in my, on my iPad at night, and I have it on the black screen, or the dark screen,
Yes.
and suddenly half my page disappears. Now, I thought at first my iPad was dying. I said, oh boy, that's it. But I changed it to the white screen, and it came back. So I'm wondering if anybody's had that problem.
I have.
Does it mean my iPad is dying?
I don't think it does. But I'm not incurring that problem because I don't use that feature.
Invert colors, is that what you're?
Yeah.
When I invert the color to white, it comes back. But if I go back to the dark screen, half the page is missing. And it doesn't
Yes.
happen all the time.
Yes.
Natalie, I had the problem with my phone and I could not revert it back, so I finally just called Apple Care and talked it through, and it ended up I had to take everything off and put it back on and reinstall it. But it came back that way, but it would.
Oh, you had to reinstall the operating system? That's sort of a pain to do, but.
I know it.
Yeah,
And you might want to, if you're going to do something like that, what I do is if it's under warranty, I'd go to the Genius Bar
yeah.
and say, look, this is what's happening. I want to do a reinstall. And then you just want to make sure you're backed up. If you're backing up to the cloud or you're backing up on your computer, just make sure everything's backed up.
Yeah, I just backed up once
Sometimes
it
if you
started
do a hard
happening.
reset, some stuff like that will fix itself.
Yeah, you can do the hard, have you tried to do a hard reset?
No.
Okay, let's go over,
I tried that, it didn't work.
it didn't work?
Tried several times.
Okay. Well, the hard reset is when you hit the off button
Right.
at the top and hit the home button at the same time. And you do that and you hold them down, both of them down, until the screen turns black and the apple appears. When the apple appears, you let up. And that's a hard reset, and sometimes that corrects a lot of problems.
You have to wait.
And it takes a long time.
Download.
Yeah, it takes some time. I do it right now, but it takes some time. Yes, Doc?
Yeah, if you're, I have time to give some information. I meant to post it. If you trade it in your iPhone, they don't give you money. They give you an Apple gift card. So I had a couple of those for a long time because the thing I've been waiting for has not been released yet. But my wife finally dropped her iPhone one time too many on Saturday and broke the glass. But it was still under Apple Care, so you go, it cost $79 to get it, but they give you a new phone. And I went in and happily, they let me use the Apple gift card to pay for the replacing the phone. Oh, I guess that was the purchase.
Yeah.
I was surprised that I was able to get some of the cash off of my cards instead of having to pay out more money.
Yes, they're usually pretty good about that. I tend to hoard those cards. I'll ask people at Christmas to make sure they give me an Apple gift card, not an iTunes card.
Oh,
And then I got, one time I had about $400 or $500 worth, and that's how I justified getting a mini iPad. Which I really don't need. Yes.
I tried
Good
that.
question. Mitch, is an Apple's gift card different from an app gift card?
Yes, it is.
So there's 3 kinds of gift cards for it?
No.
There's the iTunes,
There's iTunes.
App Store,
No.
No.
App Store and the iTunes card are one and the same.
oh, okay.
Then there's an Apple card, and the Apple card, the Apple gift card can be used for anything that's sold online or in the store, and you can only get them at an Apple store. You might be able to get them online.
No, you can get them
You
online.
can get them online, but only at Apple.
Yes.
Whereas an iTunes card, you can go get it at Best Buy, you can get them at the grocery store, anywhere.
The App Store card and the iTunes card cosmetically look different, but are
No,
actually.
they're the same. There's only.
I'm
it's
saying
the
they
iTunes-
cosmetically look different, but
It's the iTunes card. I never saw an app card.
I never saw that card. You have one?
I thought I did.
Okay, we didn't get completely through the list, and we're almost out of time, but I want to go over a couple things in mail. Incidentally, I had some really great comments about the meeting that was done on converting Comcast POP to IMAP. I know Shelley that just left, she's my neighbor, and she stopped me when I was going out the street the other day and said that she did hers and her husband's, and she said it worked perfectly. And they were really happy with it. So, anybody else here do that conversion? No?
So that's good to know that she had no problem.
She had no problem, it worked fine.
Rich?
Yes,
Yes, the cards look different. I just Googled them.
they look different, but they do the same thing.
Well, I don't know that they did, I always thought they did different things.
Ask
But they're
Google.
two different cards.
Ask Google if they're the same.
Well, they look different.
I think
You can buy apps with an iPhone.
large pipe way up here, I don't want that.
You can buy music with an app card. I don't know.
Well, your best, what you should do is watch the sales, because Best Buy often runs a 20% off. sale.
15, it's usually 15, sometimes it's 20.
Right.
I have,
The iTunes cards.
I have a slew of iTunes cards. It's a disease. No, the iTunes cards I buy myself, but I literally have $600 or $700 worth of iTunes cards right now.
Just to buy more music.
I actually buy movies, but I'm getting ready to buy that Final Cut Pro, and that's $300. So I figure if I got the cards for 15 or 20% off, I'm getting a nice discount on that program.
That's all I
Yeah. Okay, I want to go quickly a
got.
couple.
You don't have any time to deal with that.
A couple of, I know you told me that. There's a couple neat shortcuts in mail that I want to go over, and the one is on right up here. This is how to do a new thing, so if you hit that, it comes up and you're doing a new thing. I'll just cancel that. But if you hold it down, it shows you all the items that you have in your drafted area. So if you happen to be working on something, like if you're working on this, I keep this one in there for Wednesday meetings, and I usually just go in there and modify it and make a new email. But if you want to see what drafts you have that you haven't sent, that's an easy way to get to them rather than go in and go into here and go into here. You just hold this down and it shows you all your drafts that you've saved.
What is it you're holding down, Mitch?
Right up here where you go and
The new message.
new message. Instead of doing new message, which is just a touch,
Oh, cool, thanks.
you do hold down and the drafts come up.
Why do things end up in draft
Because you haven't sent them.
that I have sent?
Because maybe you, the only reason would be because you
You may not have any drafts.
you copied it and left it in there. So in other words, I've got this one right here, and I'll go like this, and I'll just do select all, and I'll do copy it, and then I'll get out of here, and I'll do a new one, and I'll go right here, and I'll paste it, and I'll say, okay, Wednesday's meeting is gonna be devoted to Q&A. Send your request to me. Yeah, it looks good. And then I don't need this in here twice. I go like this, and then put up here, the group, and then send it. But I don't want to do that. I want to cancel it. I want to delete it. That'd be the only way.
No, but I seem to get the things in drafts that I know I have sent and have gone out.
Yeah, drafts don't always clear themselves.
Yeah.
Oh, is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Particularly I see that on my iMac. Sometimes I know that the message has gone out, but it's still there in drafts.
And if I send it out again, it's just a duplicate.
Yes. one more thing on mail. If you're on this page right here, which is the main mail page, you'll see I have several accounts. Shows how many messages are outstanding. And up at the top, it gives us summary information. If I want to look at all my mailboxes at one time, I can do that. But if you hit edit, you can turn this stuff on and off. That'll show in that top area. So if you don't want to see the VIP or the cent or the flagged items, you just go like that, and you're done, and now they're gone from there. If you do want to see them, which I do, it's there. So I think that's the final tip of the day. I got time for one question. Yes?
Linda Dean. If you go into pictures, photos, and that DCIM file, I downloaded pictures to my computer, and I go into the DCIM file, and it's got all these massive amounts of numbers and stuff attached to these pictures. If you go out of it and you come back into it, I think it changes the numbers. But I'm wondering, is there somewhere where this picture has a date it was taken or anything like that? Because there's nothing associated with it there in that DCIM file. It's not like a file list that has a date taken and you know, something JPEG.
Whenever I don't know on the iPad, but whenever I'm working with photos on my Mac, I mean, I use iPhoto or I use Aperture, and I just go to the information tag, and it tells me everything about that photo. And if it does have a date recorded, it'll show it, or it'll let you put a date in, because I got pictures that, you know, was taken in 1942, you got to put that material in.
Yeah, see, I took a recent trip and I wanted to take those photos and put them into a file folder on my computer. But I've got this list of all these numbers, and I can't tell what is from what trip on the DCIM file.
I don't have an idea. I can't help with that. Anybody else can help? Yes?
Just when I download from my camera, or are you taking them on your iPhone?
I put them from my camera onto my
I
iPad.
dump them in the file first. I don't take them directly to the iPad.
Yeah, well, I do that to, you know, different directories and all. But then when I sync up to my computer, and it goes over to my computer, it goes into DCIM file, and then it's just numbers. Everything's got a number, and I don't know if it does it on here, but I can show you that.
You know, if I were you, I would post to our site your photo question, because we've got a lot of photo experts in our club, and you might get a response there. But if you do post it, post exactly what you're doing, like I'm doing this on my iPad, or I'm doing this. Just put a good description of exactly what you're doing and trying to do, and I would think you'd get some kind of response.
And if you can, take a little screenshot and attach it so we can see what you're seeing.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea too. You know how to take a screenshot?
I have it written down someplace.
You hit the home button
Yeah,
and the off button, and it'll click.
right.
And then it'll be in your photo,
Then just paste it.
in your photos, yeah. When you hit a click and the screen sort of flashes, you know you've gotten the screenshot.
Thank you, man.
You're welcome.